Everyone. My name is Jen. I wanted to share my unexplainable about my dog, Sunny. She's a golden retriever, and she is my first dog once I moved out of my parents' home, and she's amazing. She was just everything. She was my shadow. She was my love. She's my unconditional love, my friend. Through thick and thin, she was my constant. And as she was getting older, we ended up adopting an abandoned black lab named Lucy. And Lucy, goodness, she was a different kind of dog, used to only living outdoors. But, we ended up merging our families together in the different kinds of manners. And this is important to my story, is whenever I would come home, Sunny would just sit and wait for me, and I, with my hands full of my stuff from work or groceries or whatever, she would sit and I could just bend my knees and pet her, pet her, pet her. And Lucy would be different. She would be excited to see me and would immediately get down on the ground or roll on her back and expose her belly. And I know that, that was a welcoming sign. It's just, it was a lot for me to scoot down all that way. And so I was very aware of their differences. And when Sunny would sit next to me on the sofa, she and I would lean our chests into each other, and I would put one arm around her back, and she would put one arm up on my shoulder, and our faces would be, or our heads would be next to each other, with our ears, next to each other, and it was just how we hugged, and spent our, I'm with you time. Anyhow, when it was time for her to be freed from her aging, painful body, we welcomed a veterinarian to come over, and me and my girls and the vet and Lucy, we surrounded Sunny in a circle, in a love bubble, and I'm going to start crying, and there are 2 shots that the vet gives. And I like to do this at home because they, they're not scared when they leave and they're in a place of love. Excuse me. Anyhow, with the first shot, it sedates them. The second one crosses them over all the way. And, puts them officially dead from the earth point of view. So, I was really disappointed when our black lab Lucy, after the first shot, she leaves the circle in the living room, and she then walks over a few yards, faces the other way, and looks 3/4 up at the wall, and she's sitting with her ears perked like someone is there, but she's staring at what I see as nothing. And she's just there, and her tail's wagging a little bit, and she's just curiously just watching this nothingness. And I was trying to bring her back to the circle so she could be there with the final goodbye, but she was just set on watching that nothingness. It was definitely keeping her attention. So the rest of us were surrounded we're surrounding Sunny's body, and then we said our final goodbyes. So it's very difficult for me. I love my babies. Okay, let me try to finish the story. So fortunately for me, my youngest wanted to sleep with me in my bed as just part of her mourning process. So for 2 or 3 weeks, it was nice because I had company and we could just, be with each other. And, but then after 2 or 3 weeks, she was done mourning and she just announced to me all of a sudden that she was fine sleeping in her room again. Well, I wasn't finished mourning. Whew. So okay, Sunny being the elder dog, she had privileges of being able to sit and sleep on the sofa and on the bed next to me. And Lucy was just not at that status yet. There was a little bit of a transitional period where it was very difficult for Sunny to welcome the new dog. So I wanted to give her extra space that she could consider hers. I was not trying to be against Lucy. I was trying to be for Sunny. So anyhow, so Lucy knew not to sleep on the bed. But the night that my youngest left back to her room, I didn't want to be alone. So I look at Lucy on the floor and I pat the bed and I say, "Hop up, come here, hop up." And she just cocks her head and looks at me confused like, "I know I'm not supposed to be up there. I don't understand." So it took a lot of urging for her to come up. Now, my bedroom, the girls were upstairs in the Cape Cod house. My bedroom was on the first floor, and I always kept a lamp on in the living room. So the lighting in my room was just silhouettes, really. And so when Lucy came up to the bed, it was interesting because she didn't do her normal flopping on her back, belly exposed. But then again, she hadn't been on the bed before. But in the silhouette, first of all, the room started feeling different. And with my other unexplainables, the weight of the room, of the air, I don't know how to explain it, but it's different. So I know something unexplainable, sixth sense-ish is going on. And so when the room shifted, I didn't know what was going on, but I looked at Lucy's silhouette, who was just sitting up on the bed, and the silhouette looked like Sunny. Now, Sunny was a golden retriever. Lucy was a black lab, so I know they look similar. Sunny had Sunny had long hair. Lucy had short hair, but whatever. Just in the silhouette, it looked the same. And more importantly, it felt like Sunny. And I was too sad to even think about that. So I wanted to kind of get that off of my mind. And I said, and I was petting Lucy. And I just said, no, I need to kind of get rid of that image because it was too painful to have what looked like the silhouette of Sunny right next to me. So I thought, I know what, I will go ahead and hug her and see what happens. And when I would hug Lucy before this night, first of all, she's too spastic a dog for hugs. She's too full of life, too energetic, and definitely ADD, ADHD, just full of energy, and she would never be able to sit still for a hug or just be still. She just wasn't that kind of dog. Even when she was laying for her belly rubs, she would be wiggling, and anyhow, she's always in motion. But this night, she was still. She was quiet and serene. It just felt like Sunny. So I gave her that hug to prove that it was not Sunny. And this dog puts her head on my shoulder. And so I do the same, and our ears are next to each other. And I do not put my arm up yet, but this dog puts her paw up on my shoulder and is leaning her head next to me by my nape of my neck and shoulder head area. So I put my arm up onto her shoulder and her back, and we hug. And I'm telling you, it was Sunny. It was Sunny 100%. And I just hugged her, a final goodbye, and I just knew it was her. And when I was ready to release the hug, I thanked her, and I looked away. I pulled away, and I looked at her face, and I looked into her eyes in the dark, and I saw Sunny. I felt Sunny. And I thanked her for doing this extra trip for me, because I needed it. And then I said out loud, "Lucy, you can come back now. Thank you." And the dog turned into a spastic, energetic, ever motion, continuous wiggled self, and the dog immediately got on her back, exposed her tummy, and I physically loved and tried to hug this thing in motion. And that was the first day that Lucy was welcomed up on my bed. Anyhow, I wanted to share that because I, in my heart, know that it was real, and I want everyone to know that it is possible, that these unexplainables are possible for you as well. You just have to be open to it. Anyhow, lots of love to you. Thanks for listening.